I mean, it's Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points.
Al
I would
kinda reminds me
hope
of
Quinn Ewers
JD
put up a
Smith.
decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't,
Dude,
we have
the
a
guy
real
from
problem.
episode
You can
5,
say the
no
same
shot.
thing about Creighton. Okay,
Yeah,
they had
no,
the one
exactly.
good game against Kansas.
He's like, prove your loyalty
Toast
to
on
the
the
king.
kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false? This is going to be a dog walk.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's gonna be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is gonna be ugly.
Hey, get
No,
this
you
sword.
said you was working on the NBA in a MLB model.
I got MLB bets. I got NBA bets. I'm like, I'm
Going through it. Okay.
I'm facilitating today, man.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? Hope you all are having a lovely Tuesday. Hope you all had a nice Monday night. I think I went 2-0 last night. Did I lose any bets last night? No, I think I probably should know that. I'm pretty sure I went 2-0 last night. I'm pretty sure my bets were the over in Wrigley, and I took the Mariners money line minus 158, laid the juice. So I'm pretty sure I won both my bets. If I'm forgetting one, I'm sorry. I promise I'm not trying to lie here. I am just forgetting. I think I went 2-0 yesterday. Moving on to today, I think I have 7 bets open. So 3 NBA. Yes, I bet 3 NBA games tonight, and then 4 MLB. We're going to go through all of it, and then we are going to talk about the Masters at the very end. For those of you who want to stick around, it's Augusta week. For those of you that are not into golf, place a couple bets and watch Sunday of the Masters, and I promise you, you will get into golf. I feel like your first step into getting into golf is Sundays of the majors, of your Masters, your U.S. Open, your PGA Championship. The Sundays of these majors it's excellent television. So if you are not into betting golf, looking to get into it, wait till this Sunday morning for the Masters. Pick somebody that's in the top 10 to win and enjoy your Sunday afternoon. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, let's talk about the Bulls-Cavs. Pass.
All right.
Pass.
All right. Well, I'll start because I do have a play, a great one. Evan Mobley over 5.5 first quarter points, plus 105. DraftKings. No Donovan Mitchell. Mobley's hit this over in 6 of 7 games in the games that Spida has missed. One game that he missed, he had a gross first quarter. He didn't score at all. Was in foul trouble. Scored 20 points the rest of the game. So he performs well generally without Donovan Mitchell. Bulls team, even as they've been playing better, still give up the most points in the restricted area in the entire NBA. That's where the majority of Evan Mobley's points come from. So Evan Mobley over 5.5 first quarter points.
Exciting. Evan Mobley, first quarter points. Chris.
Very exciting. Thank you.
Chris passed. Next.
I pass. Yeah.
Okay, so I actually bet this game. I took the Hawks at +4, which is obviously still where it is. Actually,
hey, Cal.
you on this? You're on this?
I like it. No, I'm gonna be on it now because that's the side I want to be on, and I haven't heard the breakdown. Let me hit a handicap.
So I mean, I wouldn't say it's a real in-depth handicap or anything here. I just think this is a very important game for both teams. I think this is a one-possession game. I actually think the Hawks could end up coming out and winning this one. I want to say, by no means am I calling this a look-ahead spot for the Magic. They have the Boston Celtics on deck tomorrow. This is a more important game. The Hawks are literally the exact team they're battling with for playoff seeding. So I'm not saying this is a look-ahead game for the Magic with Boston on deck. They do have a game tomorrow, but they want this one. I feel like this is just a huge game for both teams here. The Magic have struggled with teams that run in transition this year. That definitely describes the Atlanta Hawks. Now, Orlando's been successful this year against teams that shoot threes, which puts us in a weird spot because on the season, the Hawks have been attacking the paint, but recently they've been shooting some threes. So really not sure what to expect from the Hawks offensively. They kind of completely changed their game up recently. But like I said, this should be a one-possession game. I would put this one Orlando -2, maybe. So I thought at +4 it was worth the bet. Not something I particularly love, but I did bet this. Hawks +4. I think they're live to win the game.
I also think they're live to win the game. And I'm going to just go second, Mud, just because I agree with Cal here, and then you can go back to being second. I also agree with everything Cal just said. Also, I think it's pretty telling that, like you said, the ramifications of this game mean a lot, Cal. But I think it's pretty telling that Orlando hasn't played since like Thursday. like they've been off for this. I think they have 4 days of rest, and Atlanta's playing their third game in 4 nights. Granted, they had last night off, but they played in both weekend days. They played Saturday and Sunday. Just had yesterday off, and the line's getting shorter, right? I think that's pretty telling in itself. Also, when you want Atlanta, you typically want them as a dog. And on the road, they've been good as a dog as well. They've covered 8 of their last 10 as road dogs, 18-11 against the number on the road. And the first thing that jumped out to me was Orlando's strength of schedule, second easiest in the last 5 games. So I got a lot of other stuff too, Kyle, but I do like a lot of what you're saying here. I think we're on the right side. I'm gonna take Atlanta +4 too.
Someone says, why are we doing NBA when MLB starts in 4 minutes? Dude, we are not doing the day games for MLB. We already did them last night. Go watch the midnight show if you want those games. We're talking about the night MLB games on this one, which will be after NBA, the same as it is every goddamn day. Modi, do you have anything for this one?
I didn't officially bet it, but Franz Wagner would be the play here in the first quarter over 5.5, -120, -118 at FanDuel. He's hit or miss in the first quarter, which is why I held off. But he's got a really good matchup, and he's hit this both games against the Hawks this year and in 1 of 2 last year, so 3 out of the last 4. Like you go down the play types for where Franz Wagner's points come from, and the Hawks are bad at all of them. Pick and roll ball handler, they're the 6th worst defense. Transition, they're below average. They're 18th, so they're not terrible, but they are below average. Free throws, they foul at the 5th highest rate. They allow the 10th most or 9th most spot up shooters. That's the top 4 play types for Franz and where his points come from. So if I were dying to bet this game, this is where I would go, but I didn't actually bet it myself.
Dude, I know. I'm sorry that there's no fast forward button on a live stream that you actually have to listen to these first quarter props from Modi. Next. Ooh, good one here. Wizards Pacers. I'm just kidding. That's sarcasm. I don't give a shit. Pass. Chris?
Yeah, we can pass it. What I will say real quick, Al, just before we pass, I was looking into this only because I just saw the news come up that like there's a couple guys for the Wizards that's going to be out in this game. I think it's first leg of back-to-back. They got Toronto tomorrow. Though, you got to hear me out. I'm not going to play this either, but just for people looking for something, the Wizards are make sure I got my notes up right. Yeah, the Wizards are you know what? Oh, so Wizards on the first leg play Philly tomorrow back in DC. No, that's not right. Is this the wrong notes? Maybe I clicked on the wrong. Never mind. You know what? Skip it. It was a look towards the Wizards team total. The Wizards team total to go under is what I was looking at, but I don't know where I wrote my notes at. Skip it. But Indiana, the Wizards, I don't think they get to 109. I think their team total is 108.5. I think they go under that.
Well said. Wow. That was some powerful stuff there. Next up is Memphis Charlotte. I'm good, dude. I got nothing.
Santi Aldama, first quarter points.
Nothing.
Over 2.5. Guy just comes in and starts chucking. He averages over 2 3-point attempts in the first quarter. Just got to make one of them. Good matchup. Santi Aldama, first quarter points.
Chris, what are your thoughts on Santi Aldama's first quarter total?
I don't know. I guess he gets it. I don't know. Hold on. All right, so back to my Wizards play that I was talking about just real quick. Wizards are 9-2 to their team total under as 15-point dogs this season. They've been 15-point dogs or more 11 times. They've only hit their team. They average 100 points per game. Exactly, and their team total set at 108.5. Wizards have triple revenge in this spot. They've had that 5 times this season. They're 4-1 to their team total under in triple revenge spots. Only average 103 points, and they've eclipsed 109 just once. So that's why I lean watch the team total under. As far as this game, Kyle, no way possible. I'm not touching it. I would probably look towards a Charlotte team total under in this spot. Memphis defense has been playing a little bit better. Charlotte did downgrade Bridges as well, so now there's no Bridges. There's no LaMelo. The first leg of back-to-back, they got to fly to Toronto tomorrow, so they probably won't be able to score the basketball. I think it's probably played at a little bit slower pace as well. So team total underlook or nothing, but I didn't look too deeply into the game either. I don't care about this one.
Next up is New Orleans, Brooklyn. Nope, didn't look at this one either. 2 teams that have just punted on the season. I mean, the Nets aren't throwing anybody out there anymore. There's no Sharp. There's no D'Angelo Russell. There's no Cam Johnson. So even though you look at this one and the first glance is like, hey, a 3-point line, maybe this is one we could take a look at. wrong. This is not one.
You didn't want to cap a matchup between Keon Brooks Jr. and Tosan Evobaum?
Actually, no? I'm sure Modai's about to tell us that Keon Brooks has a bad matchup in the first quarter or some shit.
Well, Prop Beaver stole my joke because I was going to say I was debating between Drew Timme, Maxwell Lewis, Reese Beekman, Antonio Reeves. One of those guys in the first quarter, I couldn't settle on one. Too much star power there, so I held off. I got nothing.
What are they? Nasty boys?
Oh, those were like the nastiest of nasty boys.
Those are filthy, disgusting ones.
Disgusting. Yeah, haven't showered in months, boys.
It's a nasty game. Yeah, we can skip it, Cal. Skip it.
All right, next up. Probably should have pulled the trigger on this one. I looked at this one last night. This one did get me to stop my scrolling. Celtics are on the road in Madison Square Garden. It's tough, and this is why this year with the NBA is so unique, because that happens in every sport, by the way. Week 18 for the NFL, the last 2 or 3 weeks of the MLB season. I mean, teams are done. That's not unique to the NBA. That's not unique to the NBA this year. That's every sport, the tail end of the regular season. That's not new. So what's unique about this year is the gap between seeds. I mean, you got the Cavs and then 5 games back as the Celtics, then 7 games back are the Knicks. So not only are the teams out of it that are at the bottom, but the teams that are towards the top of the standings are pretty much locked in there. I mean, yeah, the Knicks are playing Boston. They're not going to catch them for the 2 seed. They're like 6.5, 7 back. So even though you got 2 seed versus 3 seed, 2 weeks left in the season, it's kind of meaningless. That being said, the Knicks are healthy. And this is this is 2 versus 3 seed here, Boston and New York. So the chances of this being a second round matchup, very likely. Obviously, both the Knicks and the Celtics have to get past what will probably be, I guess, Detroit and Milwaukee would be the 5 and the 6 there. Or the 6 and the 7, whatever the hell. So obviously, Boston and New York would have to get past their first round matchups. But 2 seed versus 3 seed, very likely matchup in the second round. I think the Knicks would want this one at home, give them some confidence going into the playoffs if this is the team we're going to see in the second round. Not to mention they're healthy. On the Celtics side, you got Jaylen Brown listed as questionable, Jason Tatum listed as questionable, Kristaps Porzingis listed as questionable, Al Horford's not playing. So, I mean, in terms of who's more likely to show us their best fastball tonight, I think the Knicks, who have been injured for a lot of the last month and a half, I think some momentum is something the Knicks would be interested in right now, whereas if you're Boston, I think Boston's current goal is to get into the playoffs fully healthy, rather than worrying about winning this meaningless game against the Knicks. Basically, I think the Knicks would want this one more than the Celtics. This game would be more important to the Knicks in front of their home fans than the Celtics. I did almost grab New York plus 1.5 last night. Kind of wish I did, because it's at -1.5, -2 now. I didn't. This isn't one of my 3 NBA bets. I do think there's going to be a little bit more motivation on the Knicks side. We're grasping at straws, though. Chris, what are your thoughts on that?
I would agree. But, even with you saying that, Kyle, I bet Boston yesterday. Pretty much as soon as we got done with your show, I was capping this game, and I was like, you know what? Boston lines out, opened at 2, saw 2.5, saw 3, saw 3.5, and was like, boom, all right, cool, let me get the 3. So I took Boston -3 yesterday. Then the injury report came out. So I don't know. The reason why I bet Boston, because I figured somebody might be injured. I figured somebody might not play. I wrote in my notes, got to wait for the injury report. Boston wrapped up the season with 2 games against Charlotte after this. They got Orlando as well, but they wrap up the season, not catching Cleveland, which I think is what they were trying to do. Here's my thing, Kyle, and why I still like Boston. Because if Boston rules everybody, well, hold on. First, I'll agree with you as far as the Knicks. The Knicks have lost. Remember, the first game of the season got absolutely smoked in Boston. Then they played again. They got smoked again. So Boston has won both games so far this season, both by double digits. They have not had a problem with the Knicks. So as far as wanting the game for some kind of psychological confidence heading into the playoffs, I agree with you there. I do agree with that point. However, the Knicks have been home dogs 4 times this season. If the Celtics really want to come in here and win, I think they can. They're 19-4. Because you mentioned punting, Kyle. The Celtics just haven't been punting games. They've covered 8 of their last 10. They're really good right now. 19-4 against the spread since the All-Star break. 14-8-1 against the number. I'm sorry, 19-4 straight up. 14-8-1 against the number. So I do think what the Knicks have been doing. They've been shooting a bunch of shots at the rim. Celtics been doing a pretty good job there. So the Knicks giving up a bunch of offensive rebounds. Boston's top 5 offensive rebounding team out of nowhere. So I do think that they're playing a very cohesive brand of basketball, and they want to carry this momentum into the playoffs. We'll see if it happens.
Yeah,
Did I get
they
a
want to
terrible
carry
number?
this. They want to carry this momentum into the playoffs. This is why the whole entire freaking team is listed as questionable.
But we've seen that, Kyle. Then they get upgraded. But and I bet it before. I knew all that. But we've seen this before. And then some guys end up playing. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Those guys have been playing recently. So Porzingis went through shoot around. We'll see what happens. I got a terrible number on 3. I wouldn't endorse playing a -3. Of course, that number's not even available right now.
All right, Modai, tell us the Gatorade color or the first basket or whatever the fuck you're about to say.
Yeah, first quarter king. He's the one that started this whole thing. Kristaps Porzingis, obviously. He's questionable. If he gets ruled out, we just get our money back. No issues there. He hasn't been as much of a king in the first quarter recently, more like a prince. But you take a step back, still been really good overall. Like 21 of his last 30, 9 of his last 14. I think he's gone under in like 3 of his last 5. But that tiny of a sample size isn't anything that's going to scare me off. He hit it last time against the Knicks, scored 7 points in the first quarter, and like. Everybody that's listed as questionable, if they play, I'm still good with Porzingis. If obviously guys get ruled out, then it looks even better. If he gets ruled out, like I mentioned, we just get our money back. And that -105 is at Bet365. So yeah, I mean, Kristaps Porzingis, we've rolled with him all year. First quarter king, -105, Bet365.
Next. I do have a bet on this next one. I'm surprised that the line didn't move, though. I thought this one would close closer to 221. I grabbed the under at 223.5. It's at 223. All right, it moved a little bit. No, you could still get a 223.5 by -112 on DraftKings. So you could pretty much still get the same bet I got. So it's kind of a bet on the current rendition of the Milwaukee Bucks here. Without Damian Lillard, this team is taking far less three-point shots, pretty significantly. This is actually a bottom 10 offense in terms of three-point frequency. So all the data we have on Milwaukee is kind of meaningless because without Damian Lillard, the offense is clearly different. So an offense that scores on the interior, this is not a three-point shooting offense. In addition to that, they're getting Bobby Portis back from suspension, who I think he does more for that Bucks team than maybe he gets credit for. He rebounds very well. Without Bobby Portis, Giannis is like the only person on the court that rebounds. I know Brook Lopez is out there and he's huge. He's not the most ferocious rebounder. Portis grabs boards. Not to mention, Portis plays some defense too. So I think with no Damian Lillard and then with Bobby Portis, he's definitely back, right, Chris?
Yeah, he's back.
But I know that he's off suspension. He's definitely going to play. Yeah, he's projected in the rotation. Just making sure, because you never know. So yeah, no Damian Lillard means less three-point shooting for Milwaukee. You add Bobby Portis back for the first time in a while, and I think maybe a little bit of a buy low on the Bucks defense and rebounding. The Bucks had problems keeping teams off the offensive glass. Minnesota, not an offensive rebounding team. Then Portis is back. So normally Milwaukee's a team that struggles to keep you off the offensive glass. I think with Portis back and Minnesota coming to town, I think they're able to keep teams off the offensive glass. I think we're going to see a lot of half-court possessions. I think the Bucks defense is going to play great here. I didn't have it in me to take the points with Milwaukee, though, because Minnesota needs this game a lot more than the Bucks do. Minnesota needs this shit. I mean, they're in like a 4-way tie for the 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Here, let me pull it up so I can give you the exact. If you want to talk about NBA teams that need to fucking win right now, you're talking about Golden State, the Clippers, Minnesota, Memphis. That's a 4-way tie for 5, 6, 7, 8. So any of those 4 teams, Clippers, Warriors, Timberwolves, Grizzlies, they need to win. So although I like the matchup for Milwaukee, I think they'll play a good defensive game. I didn't have it in me to take the Bucks plus 5.5 because Minnesota needs this shit. So I just think we're going to see the Bucks play a good defensive game. And also without Lillard, without the three-point shooting, I think the Bucks are a little bit limited offensively. I know they've been playing pretty well on that side of the court, but I don't trust the Bucks offense as much without Lillard. So give me the under. And look, I don't love it, but I did bet it. I got the under 223.5.
Non-first quarter play in this one, so you're welcome. Anthony Edwards, over 27.5 points, minus 105 at DraftKings. He just went off against the Sixers, which always scares me off a little bit. But like you mentioned, they need these games, and it's a really good matchup for him. 9 of 13 players with his scoring profile have gone over against the Bucks. Last time these two teams played, Ant scored 28 points. He took 33 shots. Now, Julius Randle missed that game, so obviously his volume's not going to be 33 shots because that's ridiculous. But I do think that the volume is going to be there, and these types of guys perform really well against the Bucks. So Anthony Edwards over 27.5 points.
Why not isolate it to the first quarter, Matt?
He's not a first quarter king.
Oh, he's a second, third, and fourth quarter king.
Correct. He's a late player.
He's a late bloomer.
Yeah, no shame in that.
All right, Chris, what are your thoughts on what I said?
I don't feel strongly on the total, Kyle. So I don't want to be totally against you. What I will say is the Bucks defense has been trash. I don't like it at all.
But Portis helps, dude.
I agree. And Portis is weird to me, Kyle, because it's not like he's coming back off an injury, right? So you would just think that, if his conditioning is well, like you've been able to kind of simulate a little bit, like
are you allowed to
YMCA.
practice with the team when you're suspended?
I don't think you can even be in the facility, but you should be at the YMCA, right? Like you should be, you know what I mean? It's not like you've been out because you sprained your ankle, right? So I agree with that sentiment. I don't know. Couldn't quite get there. Minnesota has been playing under. That makes sense. What I wanted to bet, I wanted to take Minnesota because, as you mentioned, they need this game and they've been playing really good. Top 5, I think defensively, offensively, they're top 10. I know they played a really easy strength of schedule, but so have the Bucks. Like both teams have played a pretty easy strength of schedule. I feel like Minnesota's been kind of like Milwaukee's been kind of getting by, just barely in a couple of these games as well. And Minnesota got the rest advantage in this one as well. This will be third game in 4 nights for Milwaukee, even though Giannis did miss the last game. So I say all that to say I wanted to take Minnesota. I didn't know until even after I did my show. This line opened at a half. At 6:49 last night on DraftKings, it opened at a half a point.
It was 4. It was 4 when I was looking at it last night.
I don't know how I missed that. I guess I was eating dinner, but yeah. So that like, do I want to take a 5.5? No, but I think that they are the right size. So that's all I'll mention. I didn't bet the game.
All right, let's move on to the next one. 3 NBA games left. They're not exhilarating, but I did bet one of them and got some CLV. Snipe some.
Me too.
I think it's the next one. We probably got the same one. Lakers, Oklahoma City. Skip right over this game if you're wondering why. Luka Doncic, questionable. Austin Reeves, questionable. LeBron James, questionable. Finney Smith, questionable. Gabe Vincent, questionable. We're not going to see Bronny James in this one. Rui Hachimura is ruled out. Maxi Kleber still out as well. Who the hell is playing for the Lakers? We don't know. Don't care. Pass. Matt?
Yeah, no, they're not. Those guys aren't going to play because they play a game tomorrow, which the Mavs, which I think they're just going to punt this game tonight. So I didn't play it either.
Chris?
Don't want to show Chet Holmgren and SGA, too much of, game 2 type action. So, yeah, they're probably going to punt this one after, beating OKC by 40,000 on
That's
Sunday.
soft ass shit.
Yeah, I agree.
That's Bill Belichick ass shit.
I would agree. So, yeah, easy punt for me. It's just so crazy, Cal, how we both punted on the same games.
Oh, I mean, the ones the ones with 18.5 point spreads. Yeah.
Even a couple of the closer ones where you just like, this sucks too.
So I bet Golden State here. What did I get?
Oh shit! Oh man! Oh god!
I got -7.5 last night. What is it? 9.5 now?
I got 7. Oh, man. I was hoping that we were going.
I didn't really understand. I know Golden State. There was a stretch there where they weren't covering at all, but they've actually covered a few lines recently. It's honestly, I didn't understand why it was only 7.5 last night. It seemed way off. I didn't really have any interest in betting the game. I saw that number, went right to the injury report, figured like, Butler's got to be out or Steph or something. I said, everyone's playing. All right, I'll take it. And that's about the entire analysis and work I put into this game is why is this single digits? It shouldn't be. So I bet it. It's now at 9.5. Yeah, I'm on Golden State.
Brandon Pajemski over 3.5 first quarter points, -115 odds at Bet365. I mentioned before the show I've been cold on these props recently, but one of the guys that I've actually been able to cash is Brandon Pajemski. You look at the games he's played specifically with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. He's gone over this number in 14 of 18 games. Even if you add Kuminga and Draymond, it's only been 6 games. He's gone over in 5 of those 6. Theoretically, he should be worse when all those guys are healthy, but he hasn't been. He's been good. And Suns defense is horrific. They've given up on the season. And it's also a good matchup. 4 pods, specifically 11 of 15 guys with his scoring profile have gone over their point prop against the Suns. So Pajemski over 3.5 first quarter points.
Yeah, someone said, why do you skip he said, why do you skip games because players are not playing? Value is still there. And in a lot of cases, you're right. Definitely some sharp people would say those are actually the more profitable opportunities because it makes it harder for the sports books to put fair prices up. But there's a flip side to that.
Data.
Yeah. I mean, it also, the sports books aren't the only ones shooting in the dark. We're also dealing with a lack of data. And I mean, we're seeing it the last 2 weeks, line movements and getting smoked in the NBA. So the sharps are getting cooked up. Betting into these markets. So yes, like in theory, you're right. These should be more profitable opportunities, but that's not how it's been working out. It's
also rotation too, Kyle. You forgot to mention rotation. Even though I know we gave the Raptors. I feel like over the last 3 weeks we've given the Raptors a lot of steam, but so they're not scared to lose. I mean to win. Like they're like, yeah, we're tanking, but our backup's gonna play hard too. And they've been actually winning games. So yeah, I agree. As far as this game goes, I did get Golden State too. I got a -7. You mentioned them being one of the teams that need to win. They've also been very profitable on the road, 22, 16, and 1 against the spread. We don't have to talk about the Suns. We don't have to talk about them. What I'll say about the Suns, just one sentence about the Suns. The Suns are 0-15 against the spread this season in their home losses, meaning that the 15 times that they've lost, they have not covered the spread when they've been at home. So that's all I say. Average margin of defeat, 13.5 points. Last 6 have come by 7 or more.
Next, and I'm skipping.
No interest in this one either, Kyle? This is the last one, right?
Yeah, I'm good. I got 4 baseball bets. I got ready to deal.
Oh, got you. Did you look into this one at all?
I got nothing in this one.
No,
not even for a second, Chris.
All right, cool. So let me. Austin Reeves now probable. Doncic now probable. Braun now probable. There you go. So Dorian Finney-Smith now probable. Okay.
So much for that.
I know. All right, so this game, first thing I looked at was Clippers, double-digit favorites. The Clippers got a big game tomorrow against the Rockets, for people that don't know. Big game. And they need this one, too. Do they need to win by 13.5 points? Probably not. But they need this game because they are in that 4-way tie for the 5th seed in the Western Conference, where they could finish as high as 6 and avoid the play-in, or potentially be going on the road for the play-in. So they wouldn't have to go on the road. Yeah, they could go on the road. So that's that. First thing I looked at was Clippers as double-digit favorites, and they've been really, really good in this spot. As home favorites, they're 5-1 against the number, 5-1 to the under as well. They're holding their opponents to 91 points per game in this spot. So I was like, okay, we'll just take the Spurs team total under. Then I look into the Spurs as double-digit dogs, and they only go over. All of their games have gone over. So what that leads me to, I think they're like 5 or 6-1 to the over. They also got a game tomorrow as well. Where that leaves me at is a team total over for the Clippers. The Clippers should be able to score. The Spurs run really, really fast. The Clippers offense is really, really good, even without Kawhi being there, because I think they're going to rest him today to get the game tomorrow, try to get the game tomorrow against Houston. It's a team total over spot. 5 of their 6 opponents for the Spurs have gone up and over their team total when they've been double-digit dogs this season. So I do like that. I thought Moda might talk about Norman Powell a little bit, over 21.5 points. I think that's a pretty good look. Just because Kawhi isn't there, he's scored 23 or more in 5 straight games without Kawhi, 73% of his games without Kawhi this season in a 30-game sample. So look towards Norman Powell up and over his points prop. But I do think the Clippers, whether they cover the spread or not, they score 122 points tonight. So I like the team total up and over 121. Haven't bet it yet, though.
Matt?
Last I checked, Kawhi was questionable. That's why I held off. If he's out, then yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, I saw it moving up this morning. It was 21.5 at -118 on FanDuel, and then 22.5 everywhere else. And I was like, Kawhi's not going to play this game. It makes sense because they want the game against the Rockets tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anything in this one, Matt?
No, I got nothing.
All right. Chris, have a good day, man. Make sure you guys give him a follow. Chris P. Kappa with 2 N's. He does a morning show. Wake that ass up. Yeah. Talk to you. See you tomorrow, Chris.
All right. Best of luck tonight, fellas.
Matt, before you take off, did you want to bless the people with a home run pick or two?
I'd love to.
Hold on. Let Prop Beaver get the song going to give you your entrance music.
Sure. I know. I saw that. I didn't have him, although he's been cold.
Lindor hit a leadoff home run.
Yeah.
How do you like that, Grimace? How
you're still down 2-1.
It's cool. I forgot.
No problem.
I forgot that shit even started.
But Miami team total over
hit
2.5 looks good.
And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. Down. Down.
All right. There you go, Modi. There's your entrance. What is the your home run pick here?
Yeah, I have Pete Alonso in this game. So even though he didn't hit one in his first at bat, he just had 110 exit velocity. So if you want to get on that live, I wouldn't hate it. Two other ones that I have left are I have Brandon Lau to hit a home run. I've been saying it low for about a year, so I'm happy I'm now pronouncing it correctly. This is one of the only good games from a weather perspective because it's cold everywhere. This one's not bad in Tampa Bay. Wind blowing out to right field. Going up against Kyle Hendricks, who in a time was not a pitcher you want to take to hit a home run, but the last couple of years he has not been good. Home run per 9 last year, 1.45, even worse against lefties. And Brandon Lau isn't amazing against the off-speed stuff, which is what Hendricks throws, but still a good matchup overall. And then the other one I have is Jackson Churio to hit a home run. Games at Coors. For whatever reason, Denver is the only place that's not cold. It's like mid-60s, so Carey will be good at Coors Field. Going up against Kyle Freeland, who's admittedly been good this year. Like his stuff's been good. He hasn't been hit hard, but there's enough of a sample size with Freeland that I don't necessarily think that's going to stick. Last 2 years, home run per 9, 1.75 bad, 1.68 bad. The top 2 pitches that he throws to righties are the sinker and the four-seam fastball. And Churio hasn't seen a ton of those from lefties, mostly the sinker, but the 2 that he has seen, he's absolutely crushed. So he's also coming off of a game where he's hot, hit 2 off the bat that were over 100, 2 home runs as well. So Churio and Brandon Lau, and then again, Pete Alonso in this game that's currently going on.
Matt, go enjoy your day.
I'll try. See you guys.
Make sure you guys give Matt a follow. That's his Twitter name right on the screen there at Jedi Modi. Does his own YouTube thing as well. If you want to switch it over to 2 people, Prop Beaver, it's just me and Toast. And then for the Masters, it's just, whoa. I sent it to him. He's not on for 12 games. Death, taxes, and the not being prepared here. Toast.
What do you mean not being prepared? Who's not prepared?
All right, let's get Toast's name up.
Because you didn't tell me that it was going to be 2 people.
St. Louis, Pittsburgh. I don't know. Can you still get my bet here? First 5 money line at -135.
Yeah, I don't think it's moved actually at all, to be honest with you. I think it's, oh no, never mind. Your first 5 bets way gone. Yeah, it's 150s across the board, 175s at some places.
I have the Pirates first 5 money line at -135 is my bet here. I guess at the current price, it would be Pirates first 5 run line, which will be more affordable.
Which is weird. You know what's weird though? I mean, it's still minus like 105, but like that moved 10 cents. Yours moved 40 in some spots. Like that's just wild. But yeah, it's Paul Skeens versus Sonny Gray. Not that I'm in love with this Pirates lineup, but I don't really trust Sonny Gray at all right now. I don't think that he's as bad as what he showed at home against the Angels, but at the same time, he hasn't even really been asked to pitch on the road over, like, especially at the end of last season as well. So I'm just not really a spot that I love against him. He also really didn't look good against this Pittsburgh lineup last year in a start towards the end of the year, which kind of helped me. I just don't I just don't feel like this Cardinals team is that good, and I think Sonny Gray's name value gets him a little bit too much here. So Paul Skeens is pretty damn good. He also, the only thing that throws me off about with this game is that Paul Skeens threw 7 innings last game out, and again, I know that that's not just about the 7 innings, but it's just one of those things that I'm curious to see how he responds, because he really didn't do that a lot last year. He did it, but I'm just saying, like, just something to monitor. But yeah, I play the Pirates first 5-run line.
Yeah, at the current price, that would probably be my pick now. Obviously, I really like my first 5 money line at -135. That is no longer available. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Toronto, Boston. I'm pretty sure Trevor took the over in this game last night. Did you take anything in this one?
I did. Blue Jays team total over 3.5 at plus money at plus 120. So again, just a situation where for me, there's no crazy numbers with Toronto versus lefty bats. I mean, it is their preferred side, but it's nothing crazy like, oh my God, look at these numbers. They're smashing and killing. They're better against left-handed pitching. There's no question about that. It's nothing crazy though, but it's just me fading Garrett Crochet off of an 8-inning performance when he's usually going 4 or 5 innings max. And again, I just don't really trust the fact that he's going to be able to come out and do that again. So it's just one of those situations where I just feel like, also, I feel like Toronto left a lot to be desired. I know that they won yesterday. And won pretty easily, but they could have easily had 10 runs yesterday. So again, I just don't feel like the offense looked as at times yesterday. I think it looked kind of bad. I don't think it's as bad as what it's looked recently. And I think they're going to get a little boost here facing Garrett Crochet being a lefty. So I don't want to deal with the Blue Jays pitching staff, but I do think they can score some runs here today. So obviously I'm kind of in my own little world with that one, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't like that bet. You're banking it all on Garrett Crochet not going deep into the game when I think it's very possible that he might.
I mean, he can go deep into the game. I just don't think that he's going to be as effective as he has been in his past. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, let's move on to the next one. I don't have anything in that one. Next one would only be Dodgers -1.5 here. I didn't bet this, but I think the Dodgers get back on track. Brad Lord is certainly not Mackenzie Gore.
No, Justin Robleski is definitely not Dustin May either, though. I will give them credit. So I do like the fact that he's a lefty. Talking about Robleski, so the Nats definitely a little bit better versus right-handed pitching. But again, it's more me thinking the Dodgers don't lose 3 games in a row. I did play Dodgers -1.5 on top of the fact that the Nats bullpen is just absolutely abysmal. Abysmal and taxed as hell. Finnegan's went 3 days in a row. Salazar's went 3 of the last 4 days. Lopez, the other guys have went 2 of the last 3 days, even though they had yesterday off. Sims has went back-to-back days, 2 of the last 3 days. So it's just a really, really bad situation for the Washington bullpen. So again, I don't think you guys need a whole bunch of reasoning why I bet the Dodgers.
All right, let's move on to the next one. And I think yesterday, this isn't one of the bets I have. Oh, yes. You nailed it with this. I tailed you on your over at 8 and woke up with some closing line value, which is what you said would happen. I got the over 8 at -115. It's now at 8.5. So I tailed you. Nice work.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success kind of identifying some of these games that we think would go over on these 8 numbers, and then they're going to bump to 8.5. I think we're 3-0 in these situations so far, so we'll see where it's at. I wouldn't mind playing it at 8.5. I definitely don't love it as much, but my point last night is you have Kyle Hendricks on the road versus a Rays lineup that I'm not really in love with, but they've been somewhat decent at home. I know some of it, obviously all of it was against Pittsburgh and Colorado with very bad bullpens and whatnot, but I don't think that the Angels fit into the category of a good bullpen themselves. Not to mention they have Kyle Hendricks on the mound, who I guess is going to be kind of hit or miss. He's whether going to go out there and throw 6 scoreless, or he's going to get probably beat up pretty bad. So again, I just feel like both. And then Shane Baz, another one. It's not really a fade of Shane Baz. He's been really, really good, and I think that he's really, really talented. He hasn't really pitched the last 2.5 years or so because he's been injured and whatnot. But I think that we're kind of underestimating this this Angels lineup. I mean, after their first 3 games, I mean, since they went into St. Louis, this Angels lineup has been absolutely cooking, scoring at least 5 runs in every game, putting up a 10 spot and a 9 spot as well. So I just think that we're kind of underestimating this Angels lineup a little bit. So I think they're more than capable of scoring some runs, not to mention the fact that this Rays bullpen usually is pretty good, has shown some signs of vulnerability over the first couple weeks of the season as well. So again, Uketa blew a save the other day. Montgomery blew one the other day as well. So again, I just think that there's plenty of opportunities for both teams to score runs here today.
All right. Yeah, it's at 8.5. I don't think you could even get the 8s anymore. They're gone. So let me see if there's... No, you can still get an 8. Wait, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong game. No, you can't get an 8. It's all 8.5 across the board. So let's move on to the next one. Philly Braves. I think you're way too overly confident about this one.
I didn't bet them, so because it's like super heavy public. So
yeah. Everyone in the world's going to be betting the Phillies here, and honestly, who could blame them? Zach Wheeler pitching against Chris Sale. Okay, so even if you want to argue that the pitching matchup might be close, which... If you put a gun to my head, I'm taking Wheeler over Sale this year, but let's just say they're close because Sale was excellent last year. The lineups don't even belong in the same conversation. I mean, the Braves have one of the worst lineups in baseball so far against right-handed pitching. I don't see any reason why Wheeler can't throw 7 shutout here. So it would only be Phillies, but I don't really understand. The Braves are minus 118 favorites in this one, which means that there is some sharp action coming in on Atlanta. And, I mean, if you look at – not that the public action would ever move the market. That's not how it works. They don't have influence over it. But clearly, most of the public action is coming in on the Philadelphia side. So they're not taking 100% of the action on one side. There is sharp action coming in at Atlanta, keeping them as short favorites here. So somewhere out there are professional bettors that like the Braves in this spot. I can't do it. Phillies or pass.
Yeah. I pretty much same thing. There's no chance in hell that I would bet the Braves in this spot. I really want to bet the Phillies. I'm just going to hold off just because I get that it's the line's weird, all that stuff, but I really just don't care. I just don't think the Braves are that good. I do think that the Braves they activated Murphy. Is he in the lineup today? Yeah. So getting Sean Murphy back helps a little bit. Obviously his first game back, I don't really know. I'm not saying it's like a huge difference, but I do think that getting him back is going to help. I watched a Sticker interview earlier this morning. So they're going to be getting some guys back and getting healthier. So I know that Strider's going to work a pitch in the next 2 days as well. So again, I don't think the Braves are as bad as what they've shown the first 2 weeks of the season. I think that everybody can agree with that. Sooner or later, I would assume this lineup to start hitting. Is it today against Zach Wheeler? I don't think so. But at the same time, I will say Phillies changed up their lineup today, which is really weird. They took Schwarber out of the leadoff spot. They put him into the cleanup spot.
Wait, why?
Turner, I don't know. Trey Turner up top. I'm assuming because Schwarber's a lefty and they kind of wanted to get him out of there if it's a bad matchup. I don't know. I'm really speculating at that point. But that's kind of a weird thing. Also, bottom 3 of this lineup with Sosa, Stott, and Rojas, pretty damn weak for Philadelphia as well. So as bad as Atlanta's lineup has been, I think that the bottom half of this Phillies lineup is as equally weak. And Castellanos is kind of really hit or miss as well. So again, I really want to bet Philly. I really wanted to bet them at plus 100, but I ended up passing. But Phillies are pass for me.
Let's go to the next one. I'm not doing it. Next one is interesting. I want to add this. Corbin.
I just bet it like 20
What'd you
minutes
get?
ago. Plus 140.
Yeah, I see a plus 140. I see a plus 1. Yeah, plus 140.
There's like 135s.
140 on ESPN Bet, 140 on Caesars.
I bet the Rockies and
fuck it.
The Rockies and the Rangers. I both time on ESPN. I said it to the Discord earlier. I said if these both hit 140, I'm going to be betting them, and they both hit 140. So here we are. So
I'm in. I'm betting it right now. Corbin.
Do you want to talk about Corbin?
Well, I mean, it's the typical, and this is the phenomenon of Patrick Corbin, and you'll see it all over Twitter. It's Patrick Corbin Day. Not even realizing that they are down money betting against Patrick Corbin. It's absolutely crazy. The phenomenon comes from the fact that when Patrick Corbin pitches, the games that he loses, he gets smoked. And it's like laugh out loud funny, gives up 11 runs in 4 innings or whatever. and it's hilarious. So that's where the lore of Patrick Corbin comes from. Patrick Corbin is 5-3 outright in his last 8 games. And keep in mind, the price you're getting Patrick Corbin at, you're getting plus 140s, plus 160s. So when he wins, yeah, I mean, you bet on Patrick Corbin, and when 35% of your games, you're breaking even here. The fade Patrick Corbin, it's Patrick Corbin Day lore on Twitter is crazy. It's just, he's just branded as a guy who gets rocked because when he loses, it's ugly. And you know what? Maybe tonight's one of those nights where he loses and it's ugly. But crafty veteran pitching in Wrigley here, I'll take a shot. Like I said, betting Patrick Corbin's been profitable. No one will ever know it, but it has been. Give me Rangers.
Yeah. Just to add on to that, Rangers are going to have a fully rested bullpen behind them. Not that Chicago's bullpen is like super taxed or anything of that nature. They were rested yesterday too, but I just wanted to point that out because I do think that the Rangers bullpen has been somewhat formidable this year. But I wanted to point out Jameson Taillon, who both of his first 2 starts were on the road this year. He pitched decent in Sacramento. He got absolutely killed in Arizona. And I know that this Rangers offense hasn't been great, and I know it's cold there. Again, I'm not trying to make a case that the Rangers are going to explode on this guy, but everybody and a lot of people in this Rangers lineup have had a lot of success against him in his career. Simeon, Seager, Adolis Garcia, and then in the smaller sample size, like 5 at-bats or smaller, really good numbers. Jock Peterson, Kevin Pillar, Jonah Heim, Leone Taveras has a double off of him. So again, I think there's a lot of opportunities for this Rangers team against Taillon, who, again, I think that we've both, Kyle and I have talked about this and others as well, that I don't really think that he's as good as what he showed last year. I think that was, again, I don't want to call it a one-off because, again, that's kind of harsh, but I have a hard time believing that. I mean, and not that ERA is everything, but just so everybody understands what we're talking about, it's just a really hard for me that he's going to be a under 3.3 ERA pitcher again this year. I just don't really see that. I think that he's like a 4 ERA guy, and again, with the history against this Texas lineup and this Texas bullpen that's been pitching pretty decent at plus 140. Keep in mind, we're also getting the Cubs at like the highest of market value you can get them at home, where they've played very, very well, and they've started this season 7-3 on the year, and 2 of those losses were to the Dodgers or whatever, or no, the Dodgers. So it's just one of those things where I think the price is a little bit off, and I do think that Patrick Corbin not pitching in Washington does kind of help him and gets kind of all the BS off of his shoulders, because he was asked to do a lot in Washington and he was left out there to die a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get that classic Corby gem tonight.
Classic Corby gem. That's pushing it. Twins up plus 110. It's now minus 101. Isn't the Royals bullpen in bad shape? Isn't that what we were looking at?
Mm-hmm. Really bad shape.
Yeah, Royals bullpen. Estevez, back-to-back days. Ursig, back-to-back days. Hunter Harvey, 3 of the last 4. Same goes for Ursig. So it's very possible that the Royals will be without their 3 main bullpen arms tonight, which means in the second half of this game, Twins should have the serious advantage. The idea of Minnesota trying to score runs off of Cole Reagans is terrifying, but you know what? I actually think it's a decent spot for Pablo Lopez to possibly pitch well. As long as the Twins are within 2 or 3 runs going into late innings, we should be live here. And if Pablo Lopez and Cole Reagans get into a pitcher's duel, we're going to have the serious advantage in the late innings. So Twins plus 110. It's at minus 101 now. I don't know if I bet it at the current price, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, I did bet the Twins as well. I'm really not a fan of Pablo Lopez, but again, this is the White Sox, but he did pitch pretty decent against the White Sox his second time out. So again, he got absolutely destroyed by St. Louis. So I should put that out there, but he has pitched really well. He did pitch really well against this Kansas City team last year in Kansas City. He went 7 innings, only gave up 1 run. And in 2023, he went 5 innings and giving up a run. He's the type of guy, I trust him a little bit more on the road, believe it or not. And I also, especially with this Royals team, like, they're really good against lefties, but they kind of struggle against righties. There's the only person in this lineup that really not even scares me against righties is Bobby Witt, and Bobby Witt's just good against everybody. So besides that, I mean, everybody else is pretty damn bad. I mean, maybe Vinny Pasquantino, but I mean, he's kind of really hit or miss. So I think that having Pablo Lopez in a Twins bullpen that nobody worked yesterday is a pretty huge advantage here. So, yeah, I bet the Twins as well. I don't love it, but usually those bets that you don't love can't usually tend to hit for you.
Yeah, it's an ugly one. Speaking of ugly ones, you took the Rockies here. I put over up for me. I think you go right back to it. Just hit it over in Coors the other night. Fastball for Eddie might get shelled here in Coors.
I will give Freddie some credit. He has pitched well in Coors in his past. So, this is, well, one, I think that Kyle Freeland's pitching pretty damn good. I know that he gave up 3 runs in Philadelphia on 9 hits, but I don't think that's an easy spot. But regardless, I do think that he's pitching decent. Again, at Coors might change some things a little bit, but he did pitch against this Milwaukee team last year and pitched really well against them. But it's more or less the spot for me. I know that both teams had the day off yesterday, but you're getting Colorado, who just played a series in Colorado. They didn't have to travel. They're just going to be waiting, and they're going to be playing a Milwaukee team that just played Cincinnati at home and had to travel into Colorado. So I usually like to fade those teams. This is a spot that I like to fade teams and play on Colorado when Colorado has been used to the altitude. Sometimes it can catch teams by surprise that first game or so. It's not really like I love to fade Freddie Peralta, but it's not a super fade of him. He's actually looked pretty good in his first 2 starts. But again, I just really like the spot for the Rockies. And again, I think that Kyle Freeland's pitching a little bit better than everybody gives him credit for. So obviously with everybody, the days off yesterday, everybody's available in both bullpens. So yeah, sneaky rock spot for me. I really like this one.
Yeah, I mean, the Rockies were the 4th most profitable home team in baseball last year. So if you were betting the Rockies in Coors last year, you made a fortune. Very profitable to bet at Coors Field. I don't have it in me to do it. I didn't bet the game. Probably just over or pass. Next up. I kind of want to go right back to it. Yesterday, Seattle minus 158. Disgusting heavy favorite was my biggest bet of the day, and they made me sweat for it. But, I mean, I don't think there's much of a gap between Framber Valdez and Luis Castillo. I'm a little scared of the Mariners bullpen. They used a couple arms. Not that they're completely cooked or anything like that. I'll pull it up. So probably not going to see Santos. And if I had to guess, you're probably not going to see Thornton either. Munoz pitched last night, but only threw 13 pitches, and he had 2 days rest before that. So I think Munoz will be available. If I was to bet this game, I would probably go Seattle first 5 money line, which I believe was at when we were looking last night. It was like minus 104. That's the way I'd probably do it. Seattle first 5 and kind of avoid those late innings. But dude, they really made me sweat this one out last night. So I'm not going back to it. But I'm not the biggest Framber Valdez guy personally. So.
It's because you don't know Seam. But anyway, that first 5, it's 130 on Caesars and 120 on some books, but it's really moved there. I played first 5 over 3.5 personally. I think that the history with, I know that Houston really hasn't been good against right-handed pitching, but I do think that having a lot of history against Castillo really does help. On top of the fact that Framber just for whatever reasons just struggles against Seattle. I don't know what it is, but again, it's just every time that he faces this team, he just never really looks sharp. He's always in trouble. He usually can get out of it because he can get those ground balls and double plays, but he's always giving up 2 or 3 runs against this team. So I also think that you're going to get a little bit of a bump from the Seattle team now with Julio Rodriguez in the leadoff spot and Randy. Everybody moves up with the Bliss injury, but I don't really think that that's that big of a thing. I know that Bliss has been really good for them, but again, I don't really put too much on it. This first, I think it's going to bother them this lineup as it going forward. I don't really worry about it tonight, so I think there might be a little bit of a boost for him. So we'll see what happens, but I really like the first 5 over 3.5. I think it should be at least at 4, given the history between these two teams and these pitchers.
First 5 over is tough in this ballpark, dude.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. We got 2 games left here, and then we have the Masters. Baltimore, Arizona. I don't even remember talking about this game. Oh, I like the Snakes last. Yes, yeah, we did argue about this game. I like this. Is it really down to a pick-em now?
Yeah.
What?
I told you, dog. Yo, this dude sucks. I'm telling you.
What, no one has faith in Merrill Kelly anymore?
I have faith in Merrill Kelly. I think it's going to take some time. I don't think that he's 9 runs in 3 2/3 bad that we saw in Yankee Stadium at all. And he did pitch well against the Cubs. So, I mean, and the Cubs, since coming over from Tokyo in those 2 games against the Dodgers, have been like one of the best offensives in baseball. So that's something.
Put up Arizona for me. I don't really get it. It was minus 118 last night. Baltimore's taking money.
I honestly, this is like one of the only games I don't really have. I did play Gunnar Henderson home run just because it's Tuesdays, and even though it's not truly Dinger Tuesdays anymore, I've just been kind of having some fun with that. But I don't really know what to do to pick a side. I obviously the books feel comfortable that Charlie Morton's going to at least keep Baltimore in this game, or this game wouldn't be a pick 'em anymore, or wouldn't be a pick 'em now, excuse me. So I don't really know. I don't really trust the Baltimore offense, to be honest with you guys. It's rather it seems like they put up 5 or 6 runs, or they put up nothing at all. So it's just one of those situations where what do you really get from them? So if I can see Merrill Kelly going out there and throwing 5 innings of 1 or 2 run baseball. I can also see him getting hit up for 3 or 4 runs early. So I honestly have nothing on this one. I'm going to think that Gunnar Henderson does something from the leadoff spot and go from there. I
don't really get why people are taking Charlie Morton over Merrill Kelly. It makes no sense to me.
I don't need
Arizona's bullpen is more rested here too. The Orioles used Batista, Cano last night. I don't really get why everyone likes the Orioles.
This is one of the more confusing games. I've looked at this game probably 3 different times. Like, okay, maybe let's just do this over again. And like, I don't understand. I don't understand it. Arizona, in my head, should it be at least minus 125? Even if you think that Merrill Kelly isn't great, the fact that they have a full rested bullpen behind him should be enough with that lineup. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me personally.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Reds, Giants. You said you're going back to it here. Reds was a nice pick. And you know what? So I have to apologize. I said I supported your Reds pick, and I went back to the tape because someone said, Kyle, you talk shit to him for the Reds pick. And I did talk shit to you for the Reds pick. So I could have sworn I liked it when you made that pick, but I didn't with Logan Webb. So you're going back to the Reds. Plus 130 was a nice cash against Logan Webb. I'll give you that. That was a great bet. You're going back to him here with Lodolo?
Yeah. Again, one of the kind of a pricing thing for me. For one, I don't feel like Landon Rupp, should be a favorite like this against going up against a pitcher and a bullpen of Cincinnati like Lodolo and the bullpen behind him. Because keep in mind, guys, this Cincinnati bullpen has pitched very, very good this year. I know that they are 4-6. They haven't played well, but they're playing games that are 3-2, 3-6, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 2-3, 2-0, 11-7, 2-8. But my point being is that there might be a couple blow up innings here or there, but for what Cincinnati's asking them to do, this bullpen has been fantastic, and they got pretty much the night off last night. So you're going to have essentially everybody rested and available behind Nick Lodolo, who is a lefty who San Francisco should kind of struggle against. There's only a couple people in this San Francisco lineup that I really worry about versus lefties. Schmidt and Ramos being the 2 big ones. And that's pretty much it. I don't really know what to think about Mr. Fitzgerald. I guess he should be all right. But besides that, I don't really know what to think about this San Francisco versus lefties. And I do think that Lodolo is being really undervalued here. I think that he's looked really good in his first 2 starts. One of them at home, one of them on the road as well. So it's not like they were both home cooking on either one of them. I don't like the fact that the only thing I don't like is the fact that San Francisco did see him earlier this season already once, but that game was at home. But that game was in Cincinnati. He went 6 innings, only gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. Now he's going to be in San Francisco, where it should be more case scenario to decrease runs. On top of that, the San Francisco bullpen is still not in a really good spot. You're not going to have Duvall. Duvall's went 3 of the last 4 nights. Eric Miller's went 3 of the last 4 nights. Trevino pitched yesterday. So there's just definitely some pockets late in this game that you might not really like San Francisco, and you're definitely going to have an advantage with Cincinnati here. So I think that if Cincinnati can scrape together 2 or 3 runs early in this game, that's going to be enough. So I don't hate the under either. I don't think that this Cincinnati offense is just going to absolutely tattoo Landon Rupp. But at the same time, I do think that they win this game. I think this price is a little bit crazy here. So, Reds plus 110.
Someone in the comments is saying Matt McClain's supposed to be back. Is that confirmed?
Yeah, they say that every day, dude. It's just whatever.
he came off the bench. He didn't come back yesterday. He was supposed to. He's on the bench of my fantasy team. That's why I'm specifically asking about that player.
You have to, with him, my guess, I mean, I don't know.
I'm leaving him on the bench until I see him start.
No, absolutely. If on a fantasy thing, yeah, because I think it's one of those things where it just depends on how he feels and if he can get loose enough and feel. I don't know, but it's kind of a weird situation for sure.
All right, let's go to the last MLB game. Then we'll talk some Masters. San Diego Athletics. Trevor got some CLV here. Didn't he take the Athletics like plus 125 last night? Pretty sure he took. Pretty sure he got
the A's team total with me?
Oh, I did bet the A's team total.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my God, this is one of my bets. That's right. I have. It's still at the same price though. We didn't get CLV on this.
I mean, the team total market. I mean,
what do you talk about? It's directly correlated to the money line market and the total market.
No, it's not.
Dude, it should be.
I'm telling you, those team total don't move like that. If they do, it goes from like 3.5 to 4.5 at a big plus price.
I mean, bet this though. I did bet this with you.
Yeah. I just think it's a really good spot for Oakland, whatever. The Athletics to score runs. Dylan Cease has been pretty good to start the year, but if there's one thing that we know about Dylan Cease is that if he does give up contact, he can give up some hard contact, and we've seen in this ballpark that this ball can fly. Not to mention the fact that I think that this Oakland A's team has multiple guys, especially guys like Brent Rooker, JJ Bleday, Lawrence Butler, all these guys that can hit right-handed pitching pretty damn well, and they've been able to. For whatever reason, this Oakland offense or this A's offense has been able to scrape some runs together. On top of the fact that every game in this freaking stadium seems to go over the total. We should have bet it yesterday. I know Lindy told us to, and we didn't. But I mean, they're putting up runs in this stadium no matter what. And on top of the fact, the Padres bullpen, that's just like the main kicker, though. Suarez back-to-back days, Adam back-to-back days, Estrada back-to-back days, Adrian Morejon back-to-back days as well. I don't really know if you see any of those guys, to be dead honest with you, because we're getting to the point where we can't be using these guys 3 days 3 days in a row, 1 day off, 3 days in a row, 1 day off. I know that these guys have had days off prior to this, but going through the course of this season, I think that you're going to see some of these guys, if they go back-to-back days, not pitch. So really after Dylan Cease, you're going to see Matsui, Jacobs, and Peralta. The other thing that's a positive about that, Matsui and Peralta, both lefties, and Morejon's a lefty. If he were to go, he only pitched 3 pitches yesterday, and the A's really hit left-handed pitching really well. So I just think there's a lot of avenues here for Oakland to be able to score runs.
Yeah, I tailed you on this, and I agree 100%. The what is it? The Padres bullpen, right? That's completely.
Yeah,
the Padres bullpen is cooked. Top 4 arms. They might use Morejon, but he did pitch back-to-back days also. So the Padres, we might be seeing like Wandy Peralta for a long stretch in this one. I don't know who's going to pitch the late innings for the Padres here in this all the way over ballpark. I like this bet. I'll be taking this one in the league. Speaking of which, betting league, you got an hour and 40 minutes to submit. Let's talk Masters. Toast. Talk to you later.
Have a good night, guys.
All right. The Masters. We're heading out to Augusta. It's that time of year. We got, let's get Paul on the screen first. For those of you that don't know, 1 second. There we go. Big Nasty is my cousin. His name's Paul. That's my cousin. A lot of people didn't know this is my cousin. Dude, another week. Harry Hall did fall out of the top 20, but I cast top 4.
What a bum. So we got 3 out of 5. Obviously, I know you took Harry Hall top 40 and top 20, so your Harry Hall bet cash, but bogeying 18, and believe it or not, Corey Connors, even though he cashed another
it was a partial,
20,
but it was a partial.
It was a partial payment because he bogeyed the last hole. So a little unfortunate with
we went from having like a monster to like having a slightly profitable day because of the
right. So yeah, I mean, Spieth was a cash, Denny McCarthy was partial, Connors was partial, and if you took Harry Hall 40, it was a hit. If you took him 20, it was a whiff. So really, our only bet that didn't hit was Gary Woodland. He struggled a little bit, but he was kind of one of the ones we weren't super keen on. But it's Augusta, baby.
It's
it
time.
Is the creme de la creme.
I got the odds open, so fire off at 1 second.
Yeah, so
when it opens, what name are we starting with?
We're gonna start with Mr. Cam Smith.
Cam Smith, we're going with. All right, Cam Smith. We have top 20 finishes plus 150 prop beaver.
So let's go. Let's talk about Cam Smith a little bit. I know he's a live guy. I know a lot of stipulation live versus PGA Tour. I know there's a lot of people say these guys can't compete with the PGA Tour players. They only play 3 rounds. They don't play serious golf. Cam Smith still has the best putter on planet Earth, and I will take that to the grave. The Masters, what do you do here? You have to chip and putt. So I'm going to read you Cam Smith's numbers at Augusta. He's 7 for 7 cuts made. He only has 2 of those finishes where he didn't finish in the top 10. He has 5 top 10s.
Wait. So he's 5 at Augusta. He's 5 out of 7 in the top 10.
Yes. 5 out of 7 in the top 10. His other 2 finishes, T34, T51. He had a T6 last year, a T3, a T2, a T10, a T5. In the field, only one person has more top 10s than Cam Smith, and that's Rory McIlroy. So really like Cam Smith at this price. Getting him at plus 150 in the top 20 is kind of absurd. So I'm all about Cam Smith this week.
Someone says y'all look alike. Well, we are related. I've never gotten that before, but we are related.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going next?
So let's bounce. I don't want to talk too much live. I have 3 live. I have 3 PGA guys. So let's move over to a guy we bet this year already. Show me Shane Lowry.
Not a Shane Lowry guy. Top 20 plus 110.
Yeah, I know you're not big on Shane. There's a stat that a lot of these guys fit the mold to, and that's shots gained approach. Augusta's a shot maker's golf course. 10 out of the last 12 Masters winners have been at a certain percentage shots gained approach. And we're going to talk about 3 out of those 7 guys. There's only 7 guys that fit the mold that basically the Masters winners have fallen into in the last 12 years. So Shane Lowry's one of them. He doesn't have great numbers at Augusta. His last 5 finishes, he's got a T25, T21, T5, T16, T43. I think you get a decent price on a guy who does, strike the ball well. Not one of my favorite picks, but he's definitely a guy that I'm going to sprinkle a little cheddar on because, like I said, he fits that mold and what we're looking for, shots gained approach on the golf course. So I'm like I said, not my favorite pick out of the bunch. Cam Smith is obviously my favorite. That's why we started with him. But let's jump right into another PGA Tour guy, a guy that I know you're fond of. Show me Colin Morikawa.
Oh, always down to bet Colin. Big Colin Morikawa fan. He's always expensive as shit, though.
Yeah. So if you're
minus,
you're
by the way,
Morikawa,
minus 170 top 10 finish is plus 140. Let's go with top 10.
Yeah. So if you're looking top 10, it's definitely going to get that's where you're going to find some value. Colin's last 5 his only 5 appearances at Augusta. His first, 44th place. His second appearance, 18th place. Then he has a T5, T10, T3. So 3 top 10s out of 5 appearances, made the cut in all of them. If he can figure out how to roll the rock a little bit, I really like Colin's chances to win it all. So I'm pretty high on Morikawa this week.
That would probably be your pick to win then, Colin, or Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the big name guys, Scotty, Rory, DeChambeau, you're just not getting any value.
Yeah.
Do I think that they could all hoist the trophy? Absolutely. Where you find the value, I think, is a guy like Colin Morikawa. He falls into that category of shots gained approach. So there's 7 guys that fit the mold of shots gained approach that basically define what the Masters champions do. It's Colin Morikawa, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Shane Lowry, Joaquin Neiman, who's a name we'll move to after this, and then Tommy Fleetwood, who I'm not ever going to bet because the guy just can't get it done.
I was going to say, I thought you swore off betting Fleetwood.
I'm not going to bet Tommy. Listen, do I think he's a great golfer? Do I think he cashes in a shit ton of top tens? I mean, if you look at Tommy Fleetwood's like statistics, I think he finishes in the top 10 1 out of every 3 starts, and he cannot win a golf tournament. Yeah. It is absurd. So I do like Colin. I think it's a fair price for top 10. I think it's a good price, and I definitely am gonna sprinkle a little cheddar on Colin.
You mentioned Neiman. Did you want to go?
Yeah. Let's jump right into Joaquin Neiman.
Top 20 is plus 105 for Neiman.
So Neiman has only played Augusta twice, a T16 and a T22. Obviously, we don't have a ton of statistics on what he's doing with LIV, but I do have some statistics for you in what he, whether it's a LIV tournament or whether he's on the DP World Tour. Also, he has 4 straight top 10s in anything he's played in. So take that for what you will. If you want to say that the LIV golfers don't take it as serious, it's not as competitive as the PGA Tour. The last 4 times Joaquin Neiman's teed it up, he has 4 straight top 10s. And obviously, a T16 and a T22 right around that number. So I think it's a fair price. I think it's a good price, and I'm definitely going to sprinkle a little bit.
Yeah, that price for Neiman has 2 ends, by the way. And that price for Neiman for top 20 finish was plus 105. So for Joaquin Neiman, I actually heard, I can't remember who it was on Twitter. It was somebody I consider to be a sharp golf bettor, was big on Neiman in this. Damn it, who was it? I would like to give that person credit, and I can't remember. Someone in the golf gambling Twitter world is big on Neiman in this tournament.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I've been big on Neiman for a while. Obviously, it's tough with the LIV guys. I'm sure you can bet LIV somewhere. I don't spend my time watching LIV. I love a lot of the guys there, but, we're PGA Tour through and through. But, yeah, I think it's a great spot to take a chance on Joaquin.
All right, cool. Where to next?
Yeah, we got 2 more picks. These 2 picks are, I know you're going to hate one of them.
I'm not doing Spieth.
Yeah, we got to talk about him.
No, we don't, dude.
We got to talk about him. He cashed last week, top 20.
He finish in the top 20?
Yeah, he finished 12 T12.
He's plus 115 for the top 20 this weekend.
Yeah, so I think number one, Jordan loves Augusta. He loves what it stands for, as most of the guys do. But I think this place this weekend has a certain feel for Spieth. He missed the cut last year. So I think that he is livid about that. I think he's coming off a great start last week. He's right up there with Smith in terms of top 10 finishes here. He's won it. He's got a T11, a third, a fourth, and then a 21st and a 46. So I think you get a good price on a guy that played well last week, has been trending in the right direction. It's hard for me not to like Spieth and the guy that can put the ball off the face of the planet. So I really do like Spieth again here.
I'm not betting Spieth. The guy sucks. Where to next?
All right. So let's talk about Mr. Major himself. We're going to go with Brooks Koepka.
No, dude.
Listen,
Isn't he done?
It's a spotty play.
Plus 110 for top 20 for Brooks.
100% a spotty play. I will say this. The last time that Brooks Koepka played bad in majors, the following year he went out and won 2 of them and then finished second at Augusta. So I'm looking at the trend. He played poorly last year at Augusta. He finished T45. He has 2 solo second places at Augusta. I look for him. Anytime people start doubting Brooks Koepka, he seems to just go out and dominate. So I think it's a good price on Brooks. I'm a fan. I want him to get it done. To be honest, if I was going to see anybody win this week, I'd like to see Brooks Koepka win it. Yeah, he's just kind of that I don't give a shit attitude, and I love that about him. He's like, you guys can talk your talk, and I'm just going to do my thing, and I think it's a good spot for Brooksy. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. But
I'm going to tail Cam Smith, definitely. I think I'm going to tail Neiman, and then I might take that Morikawa top 10 with you because I like Colin. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
and it's the Masters. I'm going to be watching. I would like to root for a guy that I'm a fan of. So I think I'm going to go Cam Smith top 20, Neiman top 20, Morikawa top 10. I think those are the three I'm going to go with.
Yeah, if you're looking for something to kind of spark your interest and make things a little interesting early on in the week, I really like guys who are teeing off in the morning late window. I know we've talked about that on previous videos. When you go out there in the morning, first thing on Thursday, those guys always have a slight advantage. So Cam Smith, Colin Morikawa, Neiman, and Spieth all have early tee times on Thursday. So I might take a little end round leader on one of those guys too. Probably Cam Smith. He's out almost first thing in the morning. So Cam Smith end round leader of 1, probably a nice little chunk of change in your pocket.
Cam Smith round 1 leader. Actually, let me see what the price. Did you read out the price?
I didn't.
Round 1 leader. First round leader plus 4,500.
Yeah, baby.
First round top 20 is plus 190 for Cam Smith.
I don't hate that, especially like I said, going out first thing in the morning. Greens are a little bit softer. The dew's still on the greens. It just makes it just that slightest bit more receptive. If the winds get up in the afternoon, it certainly can drive some guys wild. So if you're looking to do a little extra gambling, I do like morning wave on Thursday to be the end round leader of 1.
All right. Everyone, enjoy your day. Please bet responsibly tonight. Hit me up if you need me. We'll be back for the midnight show. Yeah, if you're in the betting league, you have 1 hour and 24 minutes to submit for tonight. Obviously, you can't pick a game